What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Dudes Who Bet Sports Daily here for July 7th. I am joined by Aaron Halterman and Papa Dude. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it yesterday. A little rough day in baseball, boys. We had an 0-2 day, but one of those really should have come home at, I think it was plus 140 on the Diamondbacks, and they went up early and just kind of fell apart late. Who had the Diamondbacks yesterday? What happened?
You know who had the Diamondbacks. It's me. My baseball bets are cursed. I got the Danhausen shirt on to show everybody. Somebody's cursed me with the baseball bets. Listen, I've had 3 on the show, all right? The Cardinals, who blew a save the first night. Milwaukee, who I don't forget who they're playing, a terrible team. They had like the bases loaded in the 9th trying to win it. And
the Pirates.
Yes, the Pirates. Thank you. And then last night, the Diamondbacks blow it in the 8th and the 9th innings. So I'm back on baseball again today for some reason.
Well, that was my fault. I'll let you give out the horse that you wanted to give out, but there's zero chance that horse goes off at higher than 3-5, and so I had to push it back on it because I looked at the form and I'm like, no way, no chance. Before we get into the bets, though, we've got a couple Sooners fans here. The biggest sports story yesterday that broke was Baker Mayfield being traded from Cleveland, heading over to the Carolina Panthers. Who wants to kick this off? Papa Dude, tell us a little bit about how you feel about Baker Mayfield. I know how Aaron feels. I know how I feel. First off, what do you think of Baker? And then let's talk a little about Cleveland and how badly they failed in this process.
I don't know how you feel, Mike. I'm assuming you probably don't think Baker's very good. Am I assuming that?
He shouldn't have been the number 1 pick. That was a really bad pick. And it set expectations unfairly for Baker Mayfield in the NFL, I think.
All right. That's very fair. Now, you're in North Carolina, right now?
I am right now, yes.
What is the feeling there?
No one really cares right now. You don't go around and hear very much Panthers talk, especially in Raleigh. So I wouldn't say that there's like this abundance of joy. It's interesting because last year there felt like there was more buzz when Sam Darnold got traded for here than necessarily when Baker got traded for, which is, I thought, kind of interesting because Darnold's done absolutely nothing. At least you've seen flashes of an NFL quarterback with Baker.
So it's ho-hum.
Yeah, that's a good – yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad he's out of Cleveland. I'll say that. I will leave that off. I don't know what Cleveland's doing. They don't even have a quarterback now. And maybe Cleveland thought with Baker they didn't have one either. You don't know what went on the inside up there. I don't know. The only thing I can go by is how Mayfield was at OU in his first 2 or 3 years at Cleveland. His teammates love him, and that's just a fact. And he's hard not to like. I mean, if you're a teammate. And I don't know what happened last year. Obviously, Aaron and I talked about this a little bit yesterday on our show. He got hurt. He shouldn't have played. And I think he really made a big mistake. And I think part of the reason he played was his competitiveness is one thing. Contract year was another. He needed to play well, and it backfired on him. And I really do. I don't think he's an elite NFL quarterback. No. I think if the players are around him, he can make plays and they can win. He proved that in Cleveland the year before. So that's my take on it. I think Carolina got a bargain. They didn't give up anything. I think they just really made a good deal there. I think, heck, if he fails, what'd they give up? Nothing. So we'll see what happens.
Aaron, what do you think about Cleveland and how they handled this entire process here from taking Baker 1, how they treated him the last couple of years, and then getting a conditional pick for him, which we don't even know what that condition is.
Right.
Like Carolina will probably get more for Darnold than they gave up for Baker.
Exactly.
It's been a wild ride being a Cleveland Browns fan for the last 4 years. I've really had my eyes open to a lot of things. This is a franchise that just invents ways to lose. I mean, a lot of times it's like, how did that just happen? How did they just lose that game? And I would be watching. How they handled it was pretty poorly. Basically, if they wanted to move on, they should have just told them, listen, we're moving on, make it cut and dry, and go out and do whatever. But the, hey, we're moving on, no, we're not, yes, we are, no, we're not again, the back and forth, the way they give a guaranteed contract to a guy like Deshaun, I mean, my goodness, that's just a recipe for disaster a little bit in that situation. But overall, I don't think they handled it very well. And like I said, they got nothing for him, which kind of tells you the value of Mayfield right now. That's incredible. Basically, a 5th-round pick is what they got. I mean, That's unbelievable that he's fallen that far. I think at the end of the day, what they probably should have done last season when they saw he was off was just sit him. They had Case Keenum, who's kind of like Baker Mayfield. They probably could have done the same thing. Yeah. And they didn't. They should have just shut him down after he started playing so poorly. So all parties involved, they're all at fault at it. I mean, if Watson can play, I guess Cleveland's a lot better off, but yeah. I don't know the answer to that. And with Carolina, why not take a shot here? I mean, you don't have a quarterback in the room anyway. Maybe you can get 2020 Baker and you got some pieces and maybe he can make some plays for you.
Yeah. One other thing too, how much of this you think with Baker getting pissed like he did at Cleveland had to do with them signing Watson?
Yeah, all of it.
Character issues of Watson. Would that not make you mad if you were the returning quarterback? I mean, would that upset you a little bit that you are not that kind of person and you go and sign this guy who may not even be available? To me, that's the thing I don't understand about Cleveland. Mike, maybe you've got a better perspective on that than we do. We're kind of biased.
I mean, this was the most Cleveland thing I've ever seen, right? I mean, like I mentioned the first round draft pick, or the first draft pick overall. They drafted, and I agree with you. He is one of the best teammates in the NFL. Everyone loved him in Oklahoma, loved him in Cleveland. The room stands up by the guy. But when you have the number one pick in the NFL draft, you don't draft the best teammate in the draft. You draft the most talented player in the draft. And there is no way, and I said this when he got drafted, Aaron, no, we were on text chains when he got drafted. He was the fourth most talented quarterback drafted in that first round. You had Josh Allen, who got drafted 7th. You had Lamar Jackson, who went, I think, 24th. You had Sam Darnold, who went 3rd. All three have more raw talent than Baker Mayfield has. And Cleveland decided to try and take the character guy over the raw talent guy. That's not the right move at number one. And so from there, that kind of just set an expectation that you were going to have this amazing talent that he never could live up to. You literally have an MVP quarterback drafted in that first round and Josh Allen. And you ended up with a guy who doesn't have the arm strength, who isn't tall enough, can't handle the blitz. I mean, there's a bunch of different issues that come up with Baker consistently. And it's then to be that Browns organization and to not trade him before trading for Deshaun because you lose all your leverage, right? If you're going to move on, just move on. Get something more for him before all this stuff happens, when now it's just Carolina looking for a quarterback. You already have Denver as their quarterback. You essentially put yourself in the worst negotiating situation possible. Got the least thing back for it after overreaching for the player. It's just, to me, it's just right. Like we're making mistake after mistake after mistake, and it's terrible for Cleveland Browns fans because they are loaded everywhere else. This defense has 2 solid edge rushers. They have 2 very good cornerbacks. They have good wide receivers. They have 2 great running backs. Their offensive line is maybe top 5, top 10 in the league. Yeah. And you just can't get out of your own damn way. They even have Stefanski, who's a very good coach. It's just things came together and they just keep making the same Cleveland mistakes. It's really frustrating to see that. And this is what the return was. Because you're like, okay, maybe they figured something out. They didn't. That was bad. Yeah.
I could definitely, I've watched every game they played the last 4 years. They're loaded. That roster is ready to win, and they just could not get out of their own way. And yeah, I'm with you. And again, if Watson can play, and who knows what his mindset's going to be, where his head's going to be, but if he can play, they're ready to win, and they will be very, very good. But yeah, it's crazy how they've handled it. But like I said, it's Cleveland.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes down the pipe now. We're expecting word on the suspension and how that's going to be formed here from the NFL in the next couple of weeks, whether or not last year counts as a suspension. He did get paid by Houston, so I'm not sure if we can, and he did play for the practice team, which technically means you weren't suspended from an NFL perspective. So it'll be interesting to see how that is finessed, and if it's all year, if it's half this year, what it is. But it's not something that Cleveland, you'd think that Cleveland might have information or hear it first. I wouldn't be shocked if we now hear the whatever the suspension is going to be in the next couple of days after they've traded Baker.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know, maybe the trade coming is kind of the sign that it's not going to be as bad as what we think.
Well, it's possible. But again, all of this is hanging over the team too. Yeah. And some of those guys they don't want to play with Deshaun. They don't. Some of them just don't. And, the quarterback's the most important person on the team, leadership and everything else. You got this guy, and it's pretty obvious he's guilty. Come on.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a forest fire worth of smoke at this point. So something happened.
Yeah, there's too much going on here. So
I don't know about you. When I get free massages from a team doctor, I don't generally hit up Instagram and DM 25 different massage therapists. It's just not something I would think of doing.
No, I don't think so.
All right. We are 1 week away from Saratoga. We're like 10 days away from Del Mar. Horse racing is starting to heat up on that side. We got a huge weekend coming up here. Aaron, I know you were excited about some of the Belmont cards coming up. I did not allow you to play a horse today. Do you want to talk about the horse you were going to play just to let everyone know here?
Yeah, it's in the second race today at Canterbury Park. I went with the number 6, Blame JD. This horse is 8-5 on the morning line, and Mike has guaranteed me that it will not go off at 3-5 or higher. Maybe you're right, but yeah, I do think this horse gets the job done. It's been knocking at the door at this level at Canterbury the last couple of races. Gets a field today that's pretty weak, and I think that's the big thing, right? Is there who else are you going to bet in this field if you don't bet Blame JD? But if this horse does go off at even money or higher and wins, blame Mike Somich for him not letting you play the horse. But
no. If he goes off at even money or higher and wins, say thanks, Mike. We got a free winner, and now we got a second pick from Aaron for this. Come on.
Well, listen, I think our old buddy Papa Dude Chris Richard gets a win in this one. Blame JD. So we'll see.
I love it. We can take our hot dog money and roll it right over into Blame JD. All right, Papa Dude, you want to kick us off here? We got 3 MLB bets we're going to roll out today.
Well, I don't want to bet this, but anyway. I've been doing so shitty that I'm just going to go against all my stuff here because I got 2 teams that are average, and I don't like to bet teams that are average, But our rules where we can't bet anything 200 is killing us in baseball because all the good teams are always minus 220 or minus 265. So we don't ever get to bet the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Astros,
Not so fast, my friend.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah, you got the Dodgers. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to go today. The Angels are against Baltimore. And I like the pitching matchup for Baltimore, even though the guy's not that good. The Angels won last night. They don't usually win 2 in a row. Baltimore's playing extremely well. So the law of averages says they may lose today. I just think they're playing better. They're at home. The Angels don't play very well on the road. And I like the minus 110. And I think the Orioles will win today. So I'm going to go Baltimore minus 110 over the Angels.
I like it. Baltimore, you hit the nail on the head. Baltimore much better at home. The Angels much worse on the road. So I like getting even money here, around even money on the minus 110 for the Orioles. So I do like that one. I actually found a way, and this is how I'm trying to creatively play baseball here. I'm going to parlay 2 of those very good teams, the Astros and the Dodgers together, to get to minus 133. Now, I almost went. This is interesting. Like if you go on like Bovada, if you go on Bookmaker, some of those sites, you can get first 5 innings and full game. So double run line. So essentially, Astros would have to win the first 5 innings and win the game, and you could get minus 130 on the Astros. I almost went with that because we got Verlander on the mound against a Kansas City team that is bad. The Astros should blow out Kansas City today. So I considered saying, okay, they're going to win the first half of the game and win the full game. You get minus 130 instead of minus 270. Thought there was some value there. But I decided to pivot and go with just a money line parlay. Give me the Astros. Give me Verlander. Give me the Dodgers. Give me Goslin. 2 of the best pitchers in the majors. Goslin 10-0 right now, facing a Cubs offense that he should be able to shut down. Verlander facing a Royals offense he should be able to shut down. Verlander is dirty during the day, especially that's a 2 p.m. start time for the Astros. So I really like both these teams. I think they probably win with margin today. I ended up just parlaying the 2 run lines, Astros and Dodgers. But again, if you do have that option to play first 5 innings full game, Astros minus 130, I think is a really good number there too.
Remember what happened the last time you played Verlander in 5 innings?
That's why I changed it up, my friend. I learned from my mistake. I almost played that again, but it's like minus 180, minus half a run. Like they are heavy favorites in that first 5 innings. KC is rolling out a starter with a 7+ ERA against Verlander. Like this is a massive mismatch from that perspective.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. It's just funny. The last time he did that, it was nothing after 5. Verlander totally shut down the Mets. I think wasn't it the Mets they were playing?
Yeah, it was the Mets.
Yeah, he's got him down.
And Walker shut down the Astros. Yeah, I think it was 2-hitter through the 5, and we couldn't get anybody across the plate. All right, Aaron Halterman, tell us what you got here, buddy.
Well, listen, Mets Marlins, I'm sure they're going to get 7 runs in the first inning and none the rest of the game. That's how this is going to go. But, hey, we're going to go over 8 runs today. I don't really like the Marlins pitcher whatsoever. Mets pitcher's not too bad, but I do think there's going to be runs scored in this one. The Marlins offense isn't too bad. Mets, one of the better teams in baseball. I just thought 8 runs was a little bit low on this line, where usually you see 9, 9.5, or 10. I'll take it. Mets, Marlins, over 8. Not going to get over analytical with this one. I just think there's going to be more than 8 runs scored in this game. And Somich made me do it. I wanted to do the horse. So we'll see. Mets Marlins over 8 for me.
I can't wait for this to go over and JD to romp home at 4-5, let's say. And then you can come on tomorrow and claim you gave out 2 winners. That's what I'm looking forward to.
All right. I love it.
Hold on just a second. I know, Aaron, you want to answer Joey here?
What was the thing? Oh, my gosh. Joey says, Papa Dude, USC with our new badass quarterback and coach are going to make the college football playoff. Joey, you're in for some disappointments.
Well, first of all, you don't have a badass quarterback. You got the most overrated football player in the history of the sport who's done absolutely jack shit. I'm going to tell you that right now. He hasn't. Aaron, am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
He was in the bowl game. Oregon had like 22 guys out.
Okay, here's the deal. At times he looked like a star, and at times he looked bad.
Okay, but that's at times. Yeah. He's made his reputation on one game, a fluke win over Texas, in which Marvin Mims made 3 unbelievable catches and gets no credit for it. Williams gets all the credit for those passes that Mims made. It's unbelievable. Plus, Texas choked big time. That's his whole reputation is built.
Plus, they were awful. Texas lost to Kansas last year.
No, they lost 7 games. Your coach
is painful as someone who had Texas +4 in that game. And that was one of the worst losses I've taken in a long time.
He was a true freshman, Joey. Okay, he's a true freshman. That's true. Now, you play in a horseshit league. Okay, you don't have to be very good to win that league.
Wait, was this the Pac-12 or the Big Ten?
Well, they're not in the Big Ten yet. Now, that's a whole different ballgame if they're in the Big Ten yet. You might make the playoffs, but you're going to get your ass handed to you, just like Lincoln did every time he made the playoffs at Oklahoma.
Well, all right. Let's calm down.
Okay.
Let's calm down on Caleb Williams. I'm not going to share those comments because I think he's very good. I think Caleb Williams is very good. What I'll tell you, Joey, and this is from a guy who's not going to yell at you, but just a reasonable OU fan that has followed the program forever. Lincoln Riley is not a great football coach, and you're going to find that out. He's a great offensive coordinator. Fantastic. You're going to love the offense. They're going to put up points. There is a big lack of development and a big lack of control of the players, and you will find that out.
Yeah.
But they're going to be very good. USC, he's going to get the
schedule
players.
Is conducive to 10 wins if us 3 were the head coach, the offensive and defensive coordinator.
I wouldn't go that far, but
definitely. What would we be? I mean, Papa Du would be the head coach, right? Are you running the O or am I on?
I'm just saying, if you've looked at their schedule, it's good.
He will get great players there.
Oh, yeah.
Got great players in Oklahoma, and they did not develop. And maybe the guys were overrated to God, but they're going to be better.
Very questionable coaching staff.
They're not great coaches. They're great recruiters. That's what I'm going to tell you. We've seen it firsthand.
Sorry, Jerry.
Anyway.
All right, there's our little rant. Just to recap the bets of the day here. Aaron going with the Mets Marlins over 8. Papa Dude taking the Orioles -110. I'm going to parlay the Astros with the Dodgers, take -133. Going to kind of get this back on track here. The Haltermans couldn't come through yesterday, but we're going to sweep this puppy. We're going 3-0 today. I feel it coming, and 4-0 if we can't blame JD. So blame JD, second in Canterbury as well. Thank you very much for joining us here at Dudes Who Bet Daily. We will be back at it tomorrow at noon, and we'll probably have a few more horse race bets because we get Belmont back tomorrow. So looking forward to it.
All right, guys. I didn't hit the music. Okay, now I will. Bye, everyone.
See you guys.